Greetings. Today, as promised, we're going to talk about the Hat for a little bit. And I'm going to establish why his past is an important aspect of his present. It matters greatly, as you guys are going to see. So strap yourselves in. And here we go. Okay, to start with, I wanted to get into the Hat's connection to the At Night Media LLC, and I was curious about whether it was even legitimate or not. And surprisingly, it is actually legitimate as an LLC. Um, I'm a bit disappointed in the way Pennsylvania does its business entity search to a degree, because a lot of states will give you the names of at least the active one or two top active officers for the company, which this does not, but that's fine. Point is, we know that this is legitimate. Okay, so I thought it was also pertinent to look at One World Media LLC, which is a foreign limited liability company. And what that essentially means is that this business entity does business in other states. Real simple. And as you can see, it is also legitimate to a degree. We'll talk about why this connection is relevant in the future. But next, I want to look at the Hat and his little link tree. Now, this guy has everything, every piece of social media under the sun. And I tried to watch this video. As you can see, I didn't even make it in for 3 minutes because several reasons. His voice is highly annoying, and the things that he was trying to perpetuate, that he was being stopped from looking for the young man, Sebastian Rogers, somehow by people who aren't even around, people on the internet, I found to be very, very weird. And he didn't really mention that anyone was stopping him in person. So I'm confused about why he's complaining. I'm also he needs to remember he's searching in the southern Appalachian area. So I ain't gonna lie, if some weird guy was walking around my property, I'm gonna go see what they're doing, and I'm not gonna be too pleased about their presence. So if someone is physically trying to stop him, that's understandable. If he's wandering around their property, or just acting suspicious around their business or anything like that, you're going to be questioned. But it's pretty obvious that he's really complaining about Barbecue Lady and Granny's Watching and whoever else he has named or thinks is in some conspiracy to stop him from looking for the kid. But yeah, we're going to look at his Facebook, or this one is At Night Media's Facebook, which of course is promoting Nick the Hat, which I find to be rather silly. All right, and then of course there's his personal, which has got Sebastian Rogers all over it. Now he's really wanting to get into this search. All right, and this is his website, which I got from Mr. Fisher, the private investigator. Very interesting, and this is why the One World thing was important, because it ties this to At Night. All right, so what he was talking about is real interesting. So if we click on, just FYI, Private intelligence retainers range between $25,000 and $1 million. Wow. Very interesting for someone who doesn't have a license to do private investigation. Okay, so we click on the at night private intelligence and we scroll around a little bit. He's government's trusted ally. Yes, sure. We'll get into that in a minute. Entertainment elite. Sure, buddy. Sure. Okay, so the pertinent thing I wanted to highlight was something that Mr. Fisher highlighted. We'll just keep scrolling. Okay, and here it says we are only accepting clients with budgets in excess of $500,000. A retainer of $500,000 is required to initiate consultation or other services. Email hx@nightagency to schedule a discussion. Now, very curious. Very curious indeed. Moving right along. So you're wondering what Nick the Hat's position is at night, and clearly he is the director of Open Records Strategy and Chief Content Officer. Very interesting title to have. And I, of course, got this from correspondence between At Night Media and the Pennsylvania State Police. We don't have to delve too much into that, but I'm leaving the URL. You can find that. I may actually copy and paste a bunch of URLs in the description of this video so that you can have a look for yourself. All right, so I find it really interesting that you have this guy here who is the director of Open Records Strategy. So he's dealing with records. Okay. And the reason why I find that so funny, well, is because of this. Man poses as Good Morning America producer, New York Times reporter to obtain government documents, the DA says. Okay. And we're just going to I'm not going to read the whole thing. You guys are welcome to read all of it for yourself, but it mentions him. Nick the Hat has been charged with creating false racist government email, identity theft, and tampering. And you might wonder, like, Christian, but this is CBS News, and I mean, yes, they are left-wing scums who are known for lying constantly, but you know, so maybe they're just you know, maybe they're just lying about Nick the Hat, right? So then we just move on to the next article. Well, I guess they weren't lying because the Delco Times talks about how he's convicted. He gets 2 to 4 years in jail for fake racist email. Now, this is the one you guys really need to read, and this will be linked in the description, excuse me. And if you click listen to this article, it takes about 10 minutes for the computer voice to read it. But there is a lot of interesting stuff in this. Oh, look at him. He's smiling. He doesn't care that he doesn't care about anything at all that he did. And also, he took a police officer down with him because a police officer gave this guy a taser. And I'm trying to be more clean in this video. But he was given a taser by a cop for some reason that I don't really understand why a cop would just give some guy a taser. Very strange. But the cop also got in a lot of trouble. But you could say, well, maybe they got it wrong. It's news organization. Maybe they're wrong too. You know, we're just a bunch of journalists that are wrong, and maybe this is BS. But then we just go to this, which is the court document explaining all this. And if you read the previous article that we were just looking at, you're going to see that this guy had been harassing his neighbors. And that's what we're looking at right here, where it's talking about harassment. He had been sending apparently prostitutes or something to his neighbor's door for a while. And I guess they eventually found out it was him doing it. He got in some trouble for that, but we keep scrolling down. And here's where we're looking at forgery, identity theft, unsworn falsification to authorities, forged, altered documents. All this stuff covers what he did. Conspiracy, make, repair, sell, etc. Offensive weapon. Lots of fun stuff. This guy, you know, he's a busy criminal. So yeah, fun times. But that's not all. There's more to cover. And I added this just because this is the hat working in his official capacity. Essentially, he was trying to get records from the Pennsylvania State Police, and it didn't work out for him. Imagine that. A criminal known for forging documents and identity theft, arguing that he wants someone's criminal records that involve investigation and disclosure would violate the Pennsylvania Criminal History Record Information Act. Yeah, so I just thought that was rich, and it's not really super necessary, but I wanted to include this anyways. All right, so I wanted to include this real quick too because apparently there's a claim that those two content creators, meaning Barbecue Lady and Granny's Watching, are interfering with an official investigation or something to that effect. However, as private investigator Fisher mentions in his objection, no one on the plaintiff list is a private investigator. None of them are licensed. That, of course, includes the hat, and I don't think any of them are licensed from Pennsylvania. And I just wanted to highlight the requirements for being a PI. And I learned something new about Pennsylvania here. In that most states that I'm aware of, you get a PI license at the state level, whereas Pennsylvania will issue it at the county level, which is very, very interesting. But notably, you can have no felony, domestic violence, abuse, mental illness. So again, that would exclude the hat. And if the hat is working for a company that has licensed investigators, because we only know the only employee that we know for At Night is the hat. He's not exactly the kind of person that a legitimate organization is going to want handling records as previously established. So we're going to move on to the next one. And I just wanted to include this because I mentioned this in a previous live stream, but here is the proof of what I was talking about when it comes to reciprocity of private investigation in the state of Tennessee. Obviously, Pennsylvania is not on that list, is it? But it sort of gets into the requirements for investigating if you are someone that has a license that's reciprocated. There are still certain requirements. Number one being that the case had to originate in your state, and you're coming over here because maybe the person you're investigating has a business deal, maybe they fled, maybe they're cheating on their spouse in the state of Tennessee. I mean, there's lots of different reasons, but there are limitations. Point being, none of those people are licensed investigators, and if they were, they're still not operating in any official capacity to be over here conducting an investigation. So, just wanted to include this. And this isn't super necessary, but I thought I'd include it to reinforce what I was talking about a little bit ago. But as I was doing a little bit of research, I noticed that there is a Private Detective Act of 1953 for the state of Pennsylvania, and might be an interesting read for anyone who wants to sort of investigate the activities of at-night media, because there might be some violations there. I don't know. I'd have to buckle down and really investigate the goings on that they have. But I thought I'd include it anyways as a talking point that maybe someone would investigate later. Moving right along. Okay, so every liar and fraudster that forges documents, well, I tend to have other problems too, and that happens to be paying their bills. So we're gonna take a quick glance at a couple of cases that highlight this. So Mr. $500,000 retainer has a history of not paying his bills very well. So let's have a look-see at that. So, yeah, you're looking at this, 2015. That's a meager sum of, when it comes down to it, a little over $1,400. It's all broken down. Um, you know, but wait, there is another one. There is this one. This one right here. And when you break that down, it's well over 9,000. You do all the math. You say, well, you can say, well, total. It says here total 8,700. They actually add interest in another document that I don't feel like hunting for, but I did find it relating to this this action, and he didn't even bother to fight this. So they just kind of took the money. They garnished his wages or whatnot. But with every type of scumbag, there's always this habit of not paying their bills, and it's really weird. This isn't super relevant, but I thought just to be thorough, let's include this. But he did get hit up for drugs, knowingly or intentionally possessing a controlled or counterfeit substance. Yeah, so I think that one got partially expunged, but I was still able to find it. I'm not gonna, in case for legal reasons, I'm not going to show the actual document, but just know that he has been in trouble before for drugs. Just to be thorough. All right, so lastly, we're going to talk about another person involved in the legal case that I previously mentioned regarding Barbecue Lady and Granny. He really needs no introduction, but Dog the Bounty Hunter. I find it kind of interesting, and I have no hate for Dog. I used to kind of watch his TV show, so nothing personal. But there was something I didn't know about the guy the whole time, and that was that he had some part to play. I don't think he was the trigger man or something like that, but he was convicted regarding the murder of Jerry Bowers Oliver. So yeah, there's that. I mean, make of that what you will. That he was in some way involved in a murder and convicted, and they did try and appeal it. As you can see here, it kind of tells the story. But yeah, and an article. So you got a guy involved in motorcycle gangs, murder, stuff like that, who's enlisting the help of At Night Media, who at least one of their members is not really known for being an honest person. So I'm kind of curious as to why people take this guy seriously. If we go back to this guy's got 21.4K subscribers. And it's kind of sad because when we look at this article here, one of the people he tried to get over on, which is a Mr. Let's keep scrolling, Mr. Roney here. This was one of the people he tried to screw over with the fake email and all that stuff. There's a quote from Mr. Roney. This quote right here. The most important thing to come to me from this entire ordeal is that as a result of your conviction, you have been proven to be a liar, a coward, and branded as a fake journalist with not one single ounce of credibility. Roney said, I can stand here totally satisfied knowing that anything you write, publish, or report on in the future will be laughed at. Well, there's a lot of people that are taking this guy seriously for some reason. Partially because they don't know about his past, but also, I mean, there's always a sucker out there. And that's why I involve myself sometimes in these sorts of things. It's not that I'm not here or making this because I'm here to, simp for Granny or something like that. I'm here because I don't like people like this guy. I've had some problems with people like this guy in the past, and anytime it comes across my desk, I just feel sort of compelled to expose him. And I'm pretty sure there's all kinds of videos out there exposing this guy. Maybe not as thorough, or maybe more thorough than what I've done today. Who knows? But it's just weird that guys like this get traction to the point where he's working with Dog the Bounty Hunter and other people. And I mean, if you just look at most of the roster, that legal case, not very good people. Personal opinion, not very good people. But I thought I would contribute a little something. Hopefully, people found some of this information to be useful. I'm sure if I decided to dig even further, I could find even more stuff. But, is it really worth that much of my time? Questionable. But yeah, guys, hope this helps. And good luck. Peace out.